Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Mahalit and I am a geological engineer. So today I thought it'd be fun to show you a few things that I like to bring on my fieldwork assignments. I'll be sharing with you some of the things that have helped me a lot throughout my career within the past 2 to 3 years. I am so happy with the collection that I have now, but it did take me time to kind of build this up. So I'll probably do a different segment with other additional items that I may not have at hand right now. But without further ado, let's get into my backpack. First thing I like to do is obviously let's go over safety, right? So I do have my hard hat, and your hard hat does have an expiration date that you can check, and my hard hat is dirty right now. I should probably clean it. But this is one of the things that you'll obviously need when you go on field because you're around heavy equipment. You also want to have a high-vis vest, and usually when you start work at a firm, they provide you with all of these items. But if you're a student, then you can totally ask about it, and maybe your internship could provide it as well, and you won't have to pay to buy your own hard hat or vest. I have pretty small hands, so I found these gloves to be the best. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this brand, but this is what I like to use. They have a small size that actually fits your hand, which is very rare for me to find something that fits my hand because they're pretty small hands. So these have been really useful, especially when I'm doing any soil or core logging. I want to be able to grab the material without, cutting my hands or causing any problems, any dryness. I have this holder with all the essential things that I need while I'm logging. So inside of it, we have a mini calculator, which is always really handy whenever you're on the field. So I always have this, and then I like to also keep a nice little ruler. This one is just a really small but neat one. Like if I need to measure grain sizes, for instance, that can get a little tricky. So you want to have a small enough ruler to be able to measure that out. So I believe these are in inches, and we have centimeters. You can kind of cut into your samples if you need to. Don't know if you can see that, but this is a pretty useful one. And there's a bunch of, some unit conversions back here, and of course the periodic table. And of course I have some pens and extra pens in here all the time. There's always documentations that we always sign, especially in the morning after we have our safety meetings. We have everyone sign their paperwork saying they understand what we need to be doing. That's always good to have. This nice I think it's fancy. It's a whiteboard notebook, and this is where I write everything that comes out. So I can write the project name, project number. There's another one that is a lot bigger, but I like to have it take up as little space as possible and it's still legible. So I have a bunch of these that I like to use, especially because there's also a kind of a nice note-taking section. So I can always jot down anything that I need to. If it's something quick and I can erase it, then this is a very useful item to have when you're going on a field. And now, I'm giving you guys items that I have in full detail, but you don't need to have all of these things. The most important things you need are really just what you have, what I've shown you in the beginning with the safety equipment. But I just have a bunch of interesting things here, and I also always bring my little fanny pack. If I'm going somewhere where I'm not able to access a big backpack, then I like to kind of condense all the things that I need into a small fanny pack. And one of the things that I have in here is a whistle. You never know when you need to call for an emergency. So this, I would recommend if you're a woman, especially pepper spray, because we don't play about our safety around here. We really don't. And I get sent to really remote areas in the United States, so I really just try to be careful. I also have another Ziploc of little gadgets that I like to keep because sometimes you don't have enough time to identify exactly what you're looking at on field. So therefore, you want to take samples to kind of revise your notes yourself. And so what I like to do is use a Ziploc bag, then I just label what depth I'm in and just add the sample and later try to identify what it is. But usually if we're tasked to collect samples that will go into a lab, then we collect it in some sort of jar like this. And I like this jar because I can also leave all my pens and markers, whatever it is that I need for my setup. I'll just like leave it in here like that. And the setup when I'm going on field work is really important. It really helps me to be organized prior to field work and to have all those things that I need before I go there, because things get really hectic and it just goes by so fast that you have to be able to keep up. And so I like to keep all these things really organized here, and I always have like extra pens or markers, whatever that it is that I need, because there might be someone else on site that will need it as well. And like I said, this is probably going to be like a series of things as I grow some of my field equipment and come up with, you know, other essential things that I need in my career. But this is a black tape that I like to use as well, and this is going to be a really useful tool for you if you're a geologist or a geological engineer, have to do some field work. This will come in handy. This isn't going to be clean, but also I have this. This is like a nice little gadget to cut your samples, soil samples, and it's nice and small enough. That'll do for like bigger boreholes or smaller ones, because we have different sizes that come out, and this one works perfectly for all of them. I have my pocket pen tester, and basically this is what you use to test the strength. A scooper, I would call this, and it's perfectly bent for SPT samples. So this has been really useful, especially when I have to take the samples out. I don't have to fight with the soil. I can just scoop it out. This is also very important when you're doing field work. It's a clipboard. I actually got it on Amazon. It's very sturdy. I've dropped it like a million times and not even a scratch on it, honestly. It just has a little bit of concrete, but it's pretty good. It has a nice like clip right here up at the top that you can put your paper in, and you could also fill it in with a bunch of items that you need, like the plants, or, you know, people like to bring a binder into work sites, and I like to do that too, but usually after we take a look in the morning, I only bring the safety items, and I like to bring the plan based on just the items that I'm working on that day. And I like to, you know, just have things condensed, especially when I'm on site, because you never know if you're going to be drilling somewhere in the middle of the river or something. So I like to keep all my essential items in this clipboard. But last, the most important thing, your charger. You never know when you're going to need your charger. Your phone could die. Anything electronic could die. So this is a perfect one. It has like a USB charger, and you can charge this and it'll charge your phone for a while. This has saved me so much effort, so much pain, because you need to be able to communicate with the project manager, the field lead, whatever the case may be. You gotta have a phone with you. I actually have a work phone, and my work phone, I'm constantly using it. I'm taking pictures, I'm texting updates and whatnot, and so sometimes my phone runs low on battery, and this has been a lifesaver. It's a small chapstick that essentially has SPF in it. We always moisturize our face and put SPF all over our face, but we often forget and neglect our lips, and our lip is actually very sensitive. I don't know about you, but like my lips are super sensitive during the winter months. Like, if I'm not moisturizing constantly, I start getting cracks on the side of my lip. It's not cute. So whenever I do go on field, I don't want the sun to irritate my skin. So I like to have this SPF chapstick. It's SPF 15 on this one. I'm sure there's better versions out there. I'll probably get a nicer one. Ear protection. Ear protection is very important, especially being around huge equipments, drill rigs. They make a lot of sound. And I like to get these ones that are like easy to squeeze and fit into your ears, and then they kind of puff up and really cancel the noise. I just have this lotion because, you know, you're touching all these different rocks and soils. At the end of it, once you're done washing your hands, you're going to want to moisturize if you're not using gloves, and sometimes you don't because things happen really fast. And so hand hygiene is important. Let's not neglect that for sure. And yeah, I think for today, that's all I wanted to show you guys. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch more of these kind of videos showing you more of my updated essential items that I use for fieldwork. But for today, I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you're a student going into geological engineering or thinking about it, I am really excited for you. There's endless opportunities. I started making videos on TikTok initially about geological engineering, and I decided why not create a YouTube video with more detail. If you liked it, please comment down below and let me know what was your favorite thing you learned. Please like and subscribe and thumbs up.